So a few months ago, I created a poll and I asked you guys what you guys would recommend for technicians who are just getting started. As far as tool buying goes, one of the options was buy once, cry once, and the other one was just buy what you can afford. Both super valid points. I want to kind of address that in this video. I also get a ton of messages asking me tools that I would recommend and what my opinions would be for certain tools. So this video is also going to be kind of a guide for people who are just getting started in their tool buying. And again, I'm just a dude that I've been around tools for a while. My opinion is not what everybody else's opinion would be. So just take this for what it is. It's just what I would do. Also, because I don't know everybody's preference, I'm just going to pretend I'm talking to myself when I first started at 18 years old, wrenching in this field. So I was an automotive technician for like 13 or 14 years until I got out of it. This is the box that I had when I ended, and it's chock full of tools. And so if I were to go back in time, I could tell myself, look, this is the tool that you're gonna like. You're not gonna like these, so don't buy these tools. Even though these tools are decent, when you buy these tools, it's gonna make these tools feel like a waste of money. So take it from that perspective. I'm a very value-oriented person, so whatever I buy is usually the best value that I can find. Like I don't buy the large McDonald's drinks because I'm gonna drink the whole thing. I buy it because it's such a good value. Ratchets. Oh, look at this camera, by the way. Look at this. Crazy ratchets. These ratchets are fantastic. This is the Gear Wrench 120 XP ratchets. And you can buy these in a set of like 5 on Amazon, and they're really, really good ratchets. And so if I were to go back in time and I had to start all over, I would absolutely buy this set because I use this every day. Even though I have like Nap-on ratchets, I still go for this ratchet. It's very smooth, very low back drag, and it has detents. And I don't know, I'm just a sucker for detents. I'm not necessarily one that likes the free floating heads, or I also don't like locking heads. I'm probably in the minority there, but I love these gear wrench ratchets. Also for sockets, impact sockets, Vevor makes this set, or Pittsburgh makes this set. This is the half-inch impact socket set. So they have like, metric and standard. Now doing these toolbox tours, I have come across quite a few seasoned techs that actually like the Pittsburgh sockets, and there's no regrets there.
These half-inch impact sockets, this is actually the kit from Harbor Freight.
Oh, sweet, Pittsburgh.
Main socket drawer.
Oh man, this thing's loaded up here.
It's pretty good. It's got a lot of mix match stuff, Harbor Freight stuff.
So as far as your sockets go, do you have a brand that you like to follow?
As far as sockets go, impact sockets, I kind of just stick with Harbor Freight for the most part, or whatever's kind of a good deal, because it's tools like this, basic stuff, it's really hard to mess up.
Sure.
If it's something that's really large in size, you can get away with the cheaper stuff. These are Tecton.
Okay.
And they've worked fine for me. I've had these are just Pittsburgh, and I've been using these for close to 20 years.
So the Pittsburgh sockets do have a few skips. The Vevor socket set seems to have less skips, and it's fairly decently priced as well. That's the set that I would probably get. As far as like chrome sockets and things like that, look at this. This is crazy. Tecton has some awesome socket sets. They actually come in these little trays when you buy them, which is perfect for when you put them in your toolbox. You don't have to worry about organizing them or anything. They come in 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch. And I would just spring for the 6-point socket sets that they offer. They do offer 12-point. I probably wouldn't go for those when you're first starting out. A couple reasons. I don't know, there aren't very many instances where you're going to need 12-point. Also 6-point is going to help keep you from rounding out fasteners and bolts. I would just get metric. If you feel like you're going to need SAE down the road, go for it. But honestly, you're more than likely just going to be using metric for the majority of your work. As far as pliers go, skadoosh. These adjustable. So this is where it's going to get a little controversial. I would recommend getting the Snap-on set. So this set comes with two other pliers. These are the adjustable pliers. It comes with another set of pliers and the needle nose adjustable pliers that everybody's been talking about. They're fairly new. I love these pliers. The Talon grip on them is it's so superior to any other pliers I've used. I've gone through, so like these are like the gear wrench pliers, and there's no comparison. If I'm talking to my former self and I need pliers, $200 for a set, 3 set of pliers, that's a big pill to swallow. If I'm talking to myself, I'd say, well, just go to Harbor Freight. They have plier sets there for like 15 bucks, and you get like 5 different pliers there, and just buy those and save up for these. Save your paychecks to buy these down the road. If you can get those pliers to last you a couple of months, buy these after that. You don't have to buy every set of pliers from Snap-on. You can buy, Snap-on has these like, the 90-degree needle nose, these extra long needle nose. Just your basic pliers like these, and then nice solid set of those needle nose. That's what I would invest in when I went back. Now, as far as impacts go, starting out, you're going to be doing a lot of tires, tire rotations, maybe doing some brakes, things like that. This titanium IR is definitely something I would tell myself to buy back in the day. This is the first impact gun I ever purchased, and it's held up so well. I've never had to rebuild it, and it's incredibly powerful and light. So this is the one I would buy. I would say if you can't afford this, a lot of shops have, very used impact guns that you can borrow. I would say just use theirs, or if you can find a super, super cheap one, again, buy it and then quickly just replace it with this. Don't fool around with other guns that are just going to die on you, and you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to be out a bunch of money because you're going to have to step up to this anyway. Now, as far as battery-powered stuff, I'm not going to recommend a whole lot of battery-powered stuff here, even though I'm a huge fan of Milwaukee. There's going to be very few of that here because I don't think you really need to have a lot of battery-powered stuff starting out. I feel like that's more of a convenience thing than it is a need. Same thing for like air ratchets. Back in the day, they didn't have like battery powered stuff, so they just use air. These things still kick butt. So this was like, I think this is the Earthquake from Harbor Freight, which I used a ton. This is the Impact air ratchet, and it's held up a lot. It's a little heavy, a little bulky, but it is very stout, and I used it a ton. So you definitely need stuff to change oil with. The oil filter stuff that I would get, this was my favorite. It's just the 3-claw, and they make different versions of this, so you need to be careful when you're buying. This is a Craftsman, like this type, so this is like a spring-loaded. These are my favorite. This one does the job as well, but these are just so easy because this one, it's not spring-loaded, whereas these two are, and there's just 2 different sizes. I would probably go and buy one of these, or maybe a couple if you're looking for different sizes. And then also Toyota's cap. So this is made by AST. This style is way better than, say, the little steel cap. These aluminum ones just seem to grip the filter housing a lot better. What's up, buddy? Stuff like this, you don't really need. And hold on one second. And so also, if you didn't know, so like I saw this in my box the other day, and I was pulling on it. It was stuck to something because it's magnetic, and I yanked on it, and look, it comes off. There's a little 1/4-inch drive on there. Pretty cool. I didn't know that. And then you can buy like a cheap set of these. Like there's a lot of companies that sell these now, and you just buy the cheapest set you can find, and I think you'll be just fine. I would recommend something like this. Now Harbor Freight does sell something like this. And they might not be like these are spring loaded. These are made by Cornwell. The ones at Harbor Freight I used for a long time, and they're pretty good. You know what? Let me see. This seems kind of low. Let me see if this will. No, that's weird. Now band style wrenches. So like these guys, you're gonna need some. And to be honest, there's a huge difference between quality band wrenches and really cheap ones. I have used some cheap ones where the band is like really thin and skinny, and they're just terrible. And these are cheap enough to where you can just buy these nice quality ones and not break the bank. So that's just where I would go from the start. You're gonna need a flashlight. Now, a lot of technicians use these Streamlight Stingers. I've got 3 of them here. You don't need these to start out with. I would definitely upgrade, in the future. But when you're first starting out, these little pen lights from Streamlight, fantastic. These are the Stylus Pros. They have ones now that have like the USB charging. I would definitely get that model instead of the one with like AAA batteries. Unless your shop just offers you free AAA batteries, then maybe you can go that route. But Harbor Freight has one that I saw recently, and it's decently priced. I haven't used it before, so I don't know. I don't know if it's any good. These are cheap enough to where, I mean, you could just spring for the Streamlight and go that route. For screwdrivers, I'd probably go with Doyle. They have a decent set over at Harbor Freight, and they have a set on the back that has like the striking cap on the very back to where you can hit it. So like if you're dealing with like screws inside of rotors that are really stubborn, that initial jolt with a hammer on the back of that screwdriver, it's usually enough to get that screw unseized to where you can actually turn it. So that's what I would get, because it's kind of two birds with one stone. You get a nice screwdriver, and you can kind of hold off on getting an impact screwdriver, and you can just use the actual screwdriver itself to get most of those stubborn fasteners off. Hammers. So you get hammers like Harbor Freight. This is a Harbor Freight one. I think this is Pittsburgh. But, you know, they have a lifetime warranty. You go in and get it exchanged. I mean, they're just good for hitting stuff. These will last you a long time, and they'll get the job done. Also, something like this, just something huge, because you're going to learn that bigger, maybe not always better, but a lot of times it comes in handy. Let's see, I got made a list here. Let's see. Wrenches. Now, I got this gear wrench set. This is gear wrench 81919, and I know that because I've recommended this set so many times. This is a 44-piece combination wrench set, and it's got metric and standard, and it's just a standard wrench set. These go from like 6mm all the way up to like 32 and 1/4 inch all the way up to 1.5 inches. Fantastic set. I use these every day, and even though I've upgraded to Snap-on Sense, I've never regretted buying this. I will keep hold of these, and I don't think I'll ever let these go. For the money, you cannot go wrong with these. You may need pry bars when you're first starting out. I'm a big fan of Mayhew, but they are a little more pricey. I am not a fan of Craftsman. They've put a bad taste in my mouth. However, I was trying to figure out what I would probably recommend to somebody just starting out. I would definitely get something with a striking cap, and Craftsman just so happens to have one of the cheapest sets with decent lengths. And so that's probably the route I'd go. After that, you can always upgrade to the Mayhew stuff, which is definitely more superior in my opinion. Also, if you need something bigger, you can always go to Harbor Freight. They have some pry bars that are 36 inches, and those are great for leverage, but again, they don't have the striking cap on the back. So I've seen so many of those handles just get crushed because people use them use like hammers on the back. But when you first start out, you're probably going to be doing some belts, a lot of serpentine belts anyway, and the kit that I would use is right here. Check this out. Boom. Look at that. It's probably the best tool that I know of, and it works fantastic. This kit is relatively inexpensive, and it'll last your entire career. Great kit. Now, when you first get started, you'll probably end up doing some brakes. This is the first tool I ever had. It's just a simple Lyle brake compressor tool to compress the pistons inside the caliper. This works fantastic. Not quite as fast as like one of these like hand pump designs from Lyle, but OMT offers like a full kit, and it has something even more robust than this. It's like $24, and the kit includes all of the rewind caliper tools that you need to like rewind the integrated emergency brake calipers and everything. And so for only $24, I would just skip something like this and just get that whole kit. And then down the road, if you need something that will help you go faster, you can get something like this. A few bonus tools you might need when you're first starting out, a multimeter. I'm a big fan of Fluke, however, they are a little pricey when you're first starting out. You don't need anything quite that expensive. Something like this Innova is just fine. Anything with auto ranging is going to be perfect for you. And like I said, that's something that you might want to have in your toolbox. The other thing that you might want to have is just a code reader. These are really inexpensive, and they're awesome. So I bought this set quite a while ago, and I have never regretted this purchase. Even though I have the bigger Snap-on scan tools, I have a Modus and or like an Autel, something with that's actual scan tool instead of just a code reader. This is so handy because it gives you like global codes so quickly. There's no boot up time. I mean, it's like almost instantaneous giving you a code. And also, if you just need to know like a quick reference for like IM readiness monitors, this does it. And this is so much more convenient than carrying your big scan tool on the passenger seat and having to look down there every every few minutes trying to see if anything's passed. So this is something I have bought and I have not regretted it, and it's pretty cheap. So it could be something worth throwing in your box. Now I'm not gonna skip these like small tools just because they don't cost that much. When you're doing batteries, which you're probably gonna be doing, this has, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but if you haven't, these are just like little brushes, and it's kind of an integrated kit. So this comes out of this guy, and then on the end of this is where you can clean up your battery posts, and then this cleans up the terminals. A very solid tool. I used it every time I did a battery. Also, pro tip about batteries, it does not matter if there's corrosion on that battery or not. You always clean the terminals and the posts whenever you put a new battery in, because there is going to be oxidation on that battery post no matter what. That's why they come with those plastic caps, and those plastic caps help keep some of the corrosion out, but you always want to clean up those battery posts. That's why they look so shiny right after you clean them. It's because of all the oxidation on them. And if you do both of those and then you put it together, it makes that connection so much better than not doing that. So just quick tip. Also, some quick side bonus tools. These, you know, these magnetic trays, get a few. I mean, they're so cheap at Harbor Freight, and if you don't get into the habit of using these, it's really easy to get to a big job and just have a disaster of bolts everywhere. There's a huge fly in here. Also, magnets. These will be your best friend when you lose stuff down in engine bay, which it will happen. And like I said, these are super cheap as well. So you know, just pick up one small magnet. Usually the extendable ones are the best to get into those tight reach spots. The last thing I'm gonna recommend is a battery powered tool. It's made by Milwaukee. It's just a 1/4-inch hex driver tool. You can get 2 batteries with it and a charger. It's like $160, and you don't have to get this right away. This is more of a want, but it will speed up your processes so much, and you will use it for a very long time. Like I said, this is not something that you have to spring for right away. It's kind of discretionary income types expense. But something like this will make checking air filters or splash shields or undercovers, just make them so much faster, and it'll just speed up your work. And it's not something that you're going to use and then grow out of. You're going to use it and keep it throughout your career. And because you're getting Milwaukee to start with, you can grow your collection as time goes on. You can get, you know, impacts and drills and so forth. So last thing, hopefully this sets a groundwork for a beginner's toolbox, or at least what I would recommend for somebody starting out. There's a lot of tools I didn't point out today. You'll need some picks, you'll need some bits, ton of other tools. This is, like I said, hopefully this is just some solid groundwork for you guys. One last thing, you're gonna need a toolbox. And I can't stress this enough. So this is like an old school Craftsman box, can hold a ton of tools. So it's got the bottom section and the top section. You can find boxes like this all over Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. My main point is you can buy these toolboxes used for a fraction of the price of buying them new. People buy toolboxes and they grow out of them, and so they get rid of them. When you buy them, the depreciation is already gone, and so when you go and you grow out of them, you're not going to have to give up that depreciation amount, because typically toolboxes don't really depreciate after they've already gone down from when they were new. So I can't stress enough, buy used. And that's not just toolboxes. If you go on eBay, you can find so many tools that are just barely used, and they're so much cheaper than buying new. And that goes for any tool. You can go to Snap-on, Matco, Cornwell, Mac, or any of these other tools, and you can find them used, and it's just so much cheaper. Or if you go to like garage sales, estate sales, all over Facebook Marketplace, check used tools, and you will find deals all over the place. So that's it, guys. Again, this isn't the be-all end-all. I'm just a dude that likes tools. And so if you guys have, I hope this stirs up a little bit of a discussion. If you guys have tools that you would recommend that I didn't mention here today, just drop a comment and let others know, so that when they do visit this video, they can look through the comments and see other suggestions that other people have. Because like I said, I'm just a dude that likes tools. I haven't tried every tool out there, so there could be way better recommendations that I'm even talking about today, and I'm sure there are. So please do that. But yeah, till the next one, we'll see you. So a few months ago, I created a poll. This is like the 15th take I've done on this, and it's hard for me.